Hey guys, this is Invader J. Well, and yesterday we went 4-5 at our locals, playing Red Pepper Luffy. If you guys do not know, this is a 6k leader with 3 life. Effect being activate main. If you are at 0 or 8 or more dawns, you can freely ramp a dawn active. So this just means if you get to at least 8 dawns, you can easily cheat out a 9 to 10 dawn play before your opponent. So that's the main gist of this deck. You want to get to your high end as fast as possible while being able to be as strong and be as safe as possible. So going into it, starting off with a 1 cost, we have our basic searcher Nami. Some people you don't want to play law in this slot just because majority of the deck is straw hat, but law does say a restriction of at least a 2 cost or higher, and Gum Giant is a 1 cost. Nami does not have the restriction. It just says straw hat, search top 5. More chance to see what we need, and a lot more targets that are not cost locked. So that's pretty good. But yeah, that's Nami obviously. Going into next, our 3 cost Zoro. If you do not know, when attacking, if your leader has 3 life or less, when it attacks, ramp a dawn active. We are 3 life leader, so that's always gonna happen. Usahachi, on play at 8 dawns, rest opponent's 5 cost or less. So you do this to get over blockers. And this card being a 2k is also really good. So that's really good too. Bon Clay, on play, Vampadon, active, and on attack, copying characters, one of your opponent's characters attack stat. So I know this is really pricey, so if you do not want to play this, there's a couple of options that are pretty good. You have cards like Basil Hawkins, that is a 0-1 purple trigger that says Rampadon rested. There's also one from the last set 08, Charlotte Brule, 4 cost blocker that says on KO ramp. So if you do not have this or have access to this, you can get one of those. And I'm moving on. The Onamis. When you're at 8 dawns or more, trash a card to draw 2. So just good cycler. Moving into 5, we have Yasop on play. Boost your leaders by 1,000 to the start of your next turn. So that's the gist of our leaders. We play a lot of characters that would boost our leader to make it harder for our opponents to hit over. So we also did the effect to Dawn 1. When you attack, give one of your opponent's characters -1. So that just makes it easier for us to kill something. If it doesn't work the first time, we have multiple times again. 5 cost kid, 5 cost queen. So again, this is just a draw engine. Since we are at 3 life, we don't have a lot of good chances to draw good cards. So we want to be able to chance to draw cards and then discard cards that we do not need. That's basically it. That's basically it for the 5 costs. Going in, we have our 6 cost. Sanji. This is mainly used as a 2k counter in hand, but luckily in this deck, since we do when we get to our end 10 dawn turns or whatever, we are able to reduce if we're able to be lower dawns than our opponent by at least 2, we can play this card from hand as a 3 cost. We got that done once during our last round match against Dofi, just because I was forced to go down to a lower amount of dawn than him, and I was able to have enough dawn left over to play this plus another blocker. So yeah, that's good. 7 cost kid. Okay, I'm about to just put these down with the 9 cost Newgate. For you guys who do not know, this card says on attack or on play. -1 Dawn, boost your leader's power by 1,000 to the start of your next turn. Newgate is an on-play effect, same thing, but it is just 2k, and there is no Dawn Neg because it's a red card. So if I had to say whichever cards you can get on the board, you want to keep kids on the board a lot longer if possible. That way, because being able to always give your leader 1k power is such a annoying thing for our opponents, just because they had to commit Dawns to attack. But if you combine it with this or the Yasop, you are guaranteed at least 2k boost or 3k boost. I got this combination down at least three times today, well, last night. So continue with the high end, finishing up with the high ends. Ben Beckman, if you guys do not know, on play trash a 6k base power or less. Oh no, just 6k power. Forgive me for that one. You can play this over. You can play this or the new 7-cost Rush Sanji. The only difference is in what you want to happen. This is just a more guaranteed removal, but where the Rush Sanji is, it opens up a attack target for your opponent's character as long as it's 6 cost or less. And against something like Dofi, you like the idea of getting rid of starving and getting rid of hand size. So this can be Sanji's if you want. I like this I do like this card. This card because I value removal over reducing hand size. Well, if that makes sense. And 9 Luffy. It being a rush card as well as a draw card is pretty good. This card says -2 or 1 or more Dawns, gain rush and draw card. So we can see giant, we can see more counters. That's all we need. And this is just a card that has to be answered immediately. So finishing up with the 10 cost, 1 gold Roger for the memes, Gear 5 Luffy, again memes but skip a turn, and 2 Shanks. So I don't see Shanks a lot in builds, but regardless, I do like the amount of 10 costs I play. But besides Luffy, these, as you know, these will eat up your Dawn. So unless you combine it with 10 cost Kid, you do not have enough Dawns. You do not have that 1 Dawn left over for Giant when you need it, especially for late game. But yeah, Shanks, if you guys do not know, it is a rusher, and while on the field, all your opponent's character minus is 1,000. So again, your opponent against Zophie, it turns their 6k attackers to 5k, so they have to commit Dawns to it now. And the more hindered we make it so that they have to use up more Dawns, the better. You can easily take out this if you do not like it. I personally like it just because of the memes. But yeah, that's enough for the rest. That's all for the characters. Finally, the most broken card of the deck, Gum Giant. If you guys do not know, this card says counter Dawn -2, trash a card from hand, and give up to one of your if your leader is a Straw Hat, give up to one of your leaders or characters plus 4,000. Oh yeah, it's either one of the two, and then you can draw 2 cards. So this card is just super unfair, just because you can trash a brick and then potentially draw 2 extra counters, or draw another one of these. And there was an instance where against that Dofi matchup, I had to use 2 of these in a row, 2 turns in a row, just because they wanted to guarantee that I was gonna die. First one, they did 15 first. I counted out of that, but I was at 0 life already, so I was lucky about that. And then the second one, they did Perfume Femur because I had a blocker on that turn. I'm like, okay, then we just had this, and then shoot counters. So we were just fortunate on that. Speaking, and last card, Diablo Jumbe. If you do not know, give one of your straw hat type leader or characters, make them immune to be blocked during attack this turn. So again, this is just a really good game ender, because if you are able to put your opponents at 0 life and you can't, and you know their hand size is pretty small, or they can't, or they block it up, thinking that like maybe they can survive, you just drop it. You just drop this, give it to your leader, and then attack 15 to lead. If they have hand encounter, they wanted to win more. If they do not, we won. Okay, so that's the list, all 50 cards. The only thing I want to try testing out or change is putting this to 2, and trying to play the 4-cost blocker law, the one that says don 1, rip 2 cards out of your opponent's hand. So what I'm thinking of is dropping the queen and Onami down by 1 each to fit in the 2 laws. That's a debatable process, just because these both say draws, and I like the idea of always being able to cycle and draw cards. So we will figure that out when we get to that point. But yeah, that was the deck list. So our record today, like I said, was 4 and 5. We played Dofi round 1, Dofi round 2 again, Nami that we lost to, Vegapunk round 4, and then Dofi again round 5. So yeah, we ended 2nd place. That was that's really cool. I had it's especially the locals I haven't been to in a while, so I'm glad I got to play there. Everybody's really chill, everybody's really cool, and yeah, thank you for watching. If you like the deck profile or like the video, please like and subscribe. If you guys have any more tech choices that you think we should be trying out in the build, please comment down below. I always like to hear suggestions. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Invader J out.